The story, the story is this is a one gropes for the right word, juggernaut, tsunami. This is a existential event, 5G, and everything it symbolizes, which may be unique in human history. And the vast majority of people on the planet are unaware, when you think about it from a negotiation point of view, are unaware, virtually unaware, even when you point it out to them that they're in a negotiation, because they see negotiation in very different limited terms. They miss the point. It is essentially navigation, and they are being navigated on somebody else's agenda. That's the first point. The second point in the story is the vast majority of people, when they even scratch the surface, see this as so monolithic, it never dawns on them that they have the power. That's the second point. And the third point is there's something unique about a resilient system because it is holographic. And what that means in practical, real terms is every move, in some sense, in a resilient system, one that involves heart, contains or reads or influences every other move, which means that the smallest advance, the smallest success, if you have the right platform, which we do, can rapidly, instantly be transformed, transferred, understood, learned, harvested, and deployed thousands and thousands of others. This multi-centric distributed model is the solution, based on big heart intelligence and integral resilience, is the solution to dealing with something which has been a huge initial gambit in which people are just waking up and their breath is taken away. But it's okay. That's where we are. And we're offering here a response. And the response, the deep part of the response is to wake up and become conscious. And what we're trying to do in this video is introduce people to an entirely new way of thinking about challenges of this nature, which are regarded as essentially wicked problems without solutions. They do have solutions, and they have ways in which we can deal and reach higher ground, not viewing each other as enemies, but working together in a new collaborative learning way. I mean, that's really the message of what I'm trying to say. That's the story. I mean, the greater story is it's humanity's, we're really at a, I guess Brave New World was a dystopia. But it had that funny title because it suggests both utopia and dystopia. This was all about new frontier technology. That's the nature of 5G. It promises utopia, but also what we're beginning to understand is dystopia. Our journey, our story, is how to guide this with some wisdom. That's humankind's story here, as far as I see it. 5G Advantage, a briefing for resilient negotiators. This webinar is intended for 5G safety advocates who are deeply concerned about the accelerated and enforced introduction of 5G in their communities, who want to pause, learn more, and take appropriate and effective action. My goal is to give you the flavor of a practical system of resilient negotiation that is well proven to deliver positive, measurable results. It offers a way for you to gain an instant edge in all your 5G negotiations, supporting a 180-day action plan, which is available on our website. This plan sets out succinctly where we are, where we may want to go, and how to get there. 5G Edge, Instant Advantage. Let me ask you, please think deeply about this. What is your present system of resilient negotiation to advance your cause and turn 5G adversity to advantage? Now you might ask, why have a system? Because it allows you to capture and repeat wins and reverse errors. Imagine one click and 1,000 allies can learn the secrets of your success. Here, I want to offer 10 principles applied to effective decisions in 5G negotiations. We will focus on micro steps in the 180-day action plan. For example, stopping a 5G installation, arranging a town meeting, alerting a neighbor, securing funding for an X Prize alternative to 5G, testifying, building alliances, mounting a communication campaign, and yes, influencing an election. You can learn the secrets of resilience from the masters, Gandhi, Mandela, Cesar Chavez. What if they could become your personal mentors? Principle 1, waking up. To gain an immediate edge, you must redefine what a negotiation is. Here, in the resilient negotiation system, I define negotiation as navigation. You negotiate the mountains, you negotiate the rivers. Viewing negotiation as navigation means that you are continuously in the 5G game. Now let me ask you, what is the most dangerous negotiation you will ever be in? It's the one that you're not even aware you're in, and you become unconscious. Now in 5G, we're dealing with a remarkable phenomenon. It reminds me of Captain Cook sailing into Botany Bay, anchoring his great man of war. You may know the story. The local inhabitants did not even see the man of war. They had a negative hallucination. It was so beyond their experience. They filtered it out. What if that is happening right now in 5G? We do not really understand what is happening. Implementing the 180-day action plan offers us a unique opportunity to wake up, hone our resilient negotiation skills, and to build big heart intelligence, compassionate consciousness. Principle 2, build a mission based on big heart intelligence. Every successful negotiation has a valid mission. Mission guides your negotiation plan and supports wise decision-making. Our mission in 5G is to safeguard the health and safety of our communities, to protect the living environment, and to ensure personal privacy. A mission of kindness and compassion that reflects big heart intelligence. So here's a safe harbor. If you ever lose your way in a negotiation, all you need to do is to return to the mission and ask, how can I help the other party or other parties discover the risks and opportunities before them? Powerful missions are always focused on the deep concerns of the other party. All actions that advance the mission with integrity are considered wins. Principle 3, know yourself, know the other. In The Art of War, the great Chinese general Sun Tzu wrote, know yourself, know the other, and you cannot be defeated in 100 battles. In every 5G negotiation, it is absolutely essential to understand the scientific foundation, as well as the premises, assumptions, beliefs, and behavioral code of the other. Government and corporate negotiators were advancing 5G. It is our responsibility as professional negotiators to understand what is the strongest scientific evidence they are asserting that 5G is safe and non-invasive. Our negotiation plan must develop a precise and scientifically convincing response to their argument. We must also understand the character of the other side, the source code of of how they will behave. Ancient Greeks understood this deeply in their axiom, character is destiny. In the artful negotiation system, we have developed a very useful tool called the Player Integrity Big Heart Profile. It allows you to go behind the mask and find the source code of character. Principle 4, few needs. The juggernaut of 5G is producing a massive collective sense of need, helplessness, hopelessness, desperation, and despair. You can gain an instant edge when we reconsider deeply what we truly need. So let me ask you, what do we truly need? The key is to explore and understand what we can't control. You can never control results, time, or other people's actions or behaviors. Where we have leverage is on our own actions and our response to our thoughts. It is axiomatic that you needn't believe your thoughts, even if you are in panic, or even if you are so sure that those promoting 5G are the opponents, are out to hurt you. You don't have to believe these thoughts. The whole situation may be entirely more interesting. Need is largely a construct of our own minds. You will immediately reduce need and gain leverage when you begin to rediscover that you have far less needs, far more power than you ever imagined. Principle 5, empowerment. You can gain further leverage by challenging and exploring all controlling assumptions. The shadow game is played by attacking the mind with false assumptions. So let's look at this a little bit more carefully. What are the external assumptions that we are being asked to believe? 5G is going to be so fast and it's safe, benign. The people needn't know. The benefits are obvious. Government and corporate officials know best. State and local governments have no rights because they are preempted. Federal rulemaking, the rules of the FCC are and have the power of law. Faster, speedier is what the people want, irrespective of the costs. What is most interesting about the tactic of inserting assumptions is how they worm their way into our psyches. So let's examine some of the inner assumptions. We, the people, have little power. All is already lost. They have all the money and political influence. I'm too busy. No action can have any real effect. Corporations control the law. 5G is unescapable. Here's the point. The instant you challenge and drop these assumptions, in that very instant, need declines and you will discover your inner power. Principle 6, see the world as it is. Scientific uncertainty is often used as a cudgel against the weak and defenseless. I wrote a book years ago, Environmental Law in Japan, which outlines and documented history of toxic tort litigation in Japan involving mercury poisoning, so-called Minamata disease, itai, cadmium poisoning, so-called in Japanese because the pain was so excruciating, hexavalent chromium, asbestos, big tobacco, and most recently the pesticide Roundup. How to meet this challenge? In fact, there is already ample scientific evidence to support two legal principles that most legal systems around the world recognize. First, heightened vigilance. The second, public trust. In practical terms, Public and corporate officials engaged in promoting or implementing 5G must, under these principles, first, inform themselves of 5G's potential harms, and secondly, inform the public. And if they fail to do so, they will, as a matter of law, establish the foreseeability of the harm and the presumption of lack of care. The effect of these two principles will be to shift the burden of proof. This is a fundamental shift in the comparative bargaining powers between those who are promoting 5G and the rest of us. Principle 7, discovery questions, deep listening. 5G is monstrously complex. It is wise to adopt the low stance. Not knowing is most intimate. Telling is rarely effective negotiation. Resilient negotiation is all about the skillful use of discovery questions, especially the interrogatory, what I call the brush questions. How, when, why, what, where. Imagine you're before a mayor of your city, and this person is leaning toward 5G, but doesn't know that much about it, but been told it's good, so therefore is ready to adopt a supporting ordinance. How might you pose a discovery question to that mayor and help her or him begin to discover an alternative? You ask, how do you plan to safeguard our community from the foreseeable risks of 5G? See the interrogatory brush? How? How opens up the whole discovery channel. Deep listening, not only with the mind, but with the heart, is key. You will pick up enormous, surprising intelligence by listening and asking your heart together with your mind. But how do you find the source code of how they will behave? Where do you focus? Principle 8, uncover the key decision makers and help them discover their pain. How do you do this? Effective reconnaissance, because often the shadow game is played by hiding key decision makers. You must do effective reconnaissance. Pain. Pain is what people yearn for or what they fear. This is the source code of where you must plant your mission. How to help the other side discover their pain and find a path to take it away. You use brush questions to find the enlightened path forward. Must view negotiations as ongoing. Practice patience. Timing is important. Contain your power. No spilling, no dumping. Understand the power of no. No can actually become your friend. If you have a solution to the pain of the other, and that person rejects the solution, if you maintain gravitas, the pain will increase because they haven't solved the problem. And the price they will pay, thanks to their no to you, will increase. All of this is laid out in what I call the 5 Rings Protocol, which is available in the course and an outline of it in the references to this webinar. Principle 9, cultivate life force. The practice of resilient negotiation builds life force. In Chinese, they call this qi, in Japanese, ki, while delivering superior measurable outcomes. Resilient negotiation is fundamentally an energetic practice similar to a martial art. There are 2 risks as 5G safety advocates that we will face. First is burnout. Second is compromised immunity, radiation, and sympathetic overdrive. The autonomic nervous system has 2 parts, sympathetic fight and flight and the parasympathetic. 5G and our involvement in it is going to drive communities into massive sympathetic overdrive, which has a deep and intimate relationship compromising immunity. Good news is we have an antidote. We have developed a comprehensive program to help you build your personal integral resilience, set forth in the Laughing Heart book that I wrote, 10 Essential Moves, Integral Resilience, helping communities thrive in 5 minutes to resilience. In practical terms, you must model the healthy opposite. Relax, slow down, and pay attention. And when you do, you can enter a state of flow. Integral resilience and other complementary health modalities can protect local communities because the medical community at this point is not prepared to deal with the potential massive health effects of 5G. Principle 10, track, record, and share your discoveries. All the necessary tools to win are already available. We have a 180-day action plan, the Resilient Negotiator System, an evolving smart codex of best practices, global learning community. The action log is your best discovery and communication tool. Please see the references. The action log takes the entire resilient negotiating system and puts it on one page. And you have a very simple decision to make. In any important negotiation, have you prepared an action log? If the result is not to your liking and you didn't prepare an action log, you will know precisely what is the problem and you'll have a basis to recover. If you do prepare an action log and things go well, you'll have an immediate sense of how to repeat the win. And you'll have a record that you can communicate to all the other parties that you're working with. Focus. It's really important to focus on each negotiation you are in. Small time, and yet in this small, as Shakespeare said, greatly lived. Here's your opening in this very specific, modest micro encounter. What happens is this sets up the principle of what I call Kaizen, principle of continuous enhanced performance. The key is trainability. You must ask yourself, how willing am I to embrace error, recover, and regain advantage? This is the power of online coaching in system. A few final points. Resilience multiplier, micro wins, and the power of 10. We train teams of 10. No need for grand slams. Base hits, doubles, that's perfectly fine. A major article, court decision, a film, a town meeting, one damage award, one effective congressional legislative hearing. Imagine 500 trained 5G safety advocates in 3 months. Formidable force. How a resilience multiplier is generated to reach a tipping point. It is the nature of resilience that it is holographic. Each move reads upon, contains all the others. If you improve in one little micro area, it starts to multiply. The multiplier can soon reach a tipping point. What happens when you have a tipping point? A single move can then tip and affect a sea change. This is a very interesting property of resilient systems. To summarize, all is ready if our minds be so. Shakespeare wrote, Henry V. All is ready if our minds be so. Essential tools to win are all readily available. Our goal today is to open a window of hope based on evidence and to dispel the voices of despair and inevitability. The advent of 5G is creating a unique global opportunity for citizens everywhere to attain a higher ground of awakening, collective caring, and consciousness. I invite you to join with me and other members of our online training dojo. Prepare to enter the brave new world of 5G. Thank you very much.